A top team in the Craftsman Truck Series just found their next driver. North Wilkesboro Speedway just repaved for the first time in 40 years. And Sheldon Creed blasts his former team, Richard Childress Racing. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove. Happy Friday. Oh gosh, someone turn that light on. What is that? Oh, that glare. Oh my God. It's Chase Elliott's brand new Hooters scheme. Yeah, look at that orange. It's a bit reflective. Am I seeing things? I don't think so, because Lionel Racing's already tweeted they've sold a ton of liquid color pre-orders. But yeah, wow. Chase Elliott has a new Hooters scheme. It'll race at the first Atlanta race, the Texas race in April, as well as the second Richmond. Awesome looking scheme. I don't think the render is doing it justice. Again, it looks a bit reflective. I can't wait to see how this thing pops in the real world. What a way to start this episode. I swear I'm still seeing like spots in my vision. Lots of NASCAR news to get to today. I appreciate you tuning in. If you're new to the channel and you love all things NASCAR, I'll remind you to hit that subscribe button down below. Regular season, playoffs, off season, does not matter. We are here talking about the latest from the world of stock car racing. North Wilkesboro Speedway has officially completed their first repave since 1981. For more than 40 years, that surface has baked under the North Carolina sun, but they posted a few clips and images on social media showing fresh asphalt. Ooh, that is going to take some getting used to. Now, from what I could find based on all available reports, this was purely a repave, not a reconfiguration, just repaving the asphalt while maintaining the original North Wilkesboro layout. But that didn't stop some fans from studying certain video clips very closely. North Wilkesboro Speedway posted this onboard pace car clip to their X account, and some fans thought they saw, a hint of progressive banking. Banking a little steeper up against the wall, a little flatter down on the apron. It's hard to tell based on this video alone. Supposedly, even with the repave, it's 13 degrees of banking in the corners, so I don't think there's any significant progressive banking there, but I guess time will tell. I know some fans will be disappointed that the old surface is gone. I know going into this year's All-Star race, that was a huge selling point. But now that the facility is active again, a repave was inevitable. And after this past season's All-Star race, I think failed to live up to expectations. Blame Kyle Larson, blame the car, blame some of the patchwork, whatever. I'm okay with them choosing now to repave it. And it's still got a few months now to wither, to wear out before next year's NASCAR Cup Series All-Star race. Hope we see some more great action there in May. Let me know what your initial impressions of this repave are down in the comment section below. Next, Front Row Motorsports has signed a new driver to take over the number 38 truck. With Zane Smith moving on to the NASCAR Cup Series, 21-year-old Lane Riggs will fill that seat.
Super excited. Thank you so much to Front Row Motorsports, Bob Jenkins, Jerry Freeze, everybody here for giving me this opportunity. Been working so long, so hard for this. It's been my dream from day one. So thank you to all my supporters, everybody behind me. Let's go get some wins this season, everybody.
Lane is the son of former NASCAR veteran Scott Riggs. Kind of a surprise pick. I think a lot of folks were zeroing in on Brett Moffitt, considering he's raced for Front Row in the past. Just this past fall at, I think, Talladega, he ran the 34 truck for Front Row, sort of a temporary reunion of sorts that some thought could blossom into another full-time opportunity. I guess anything could still happen, but with Zane Smith moving up to Cup, I think a lot of folks assumed Brett Moffitt was the leading candidate for the 38. But no, Front Row is opting to go with a younger driver who I think has a tremendous potential upside. I don't know a ton about Lane Riggs. I know he's a late model racer. He has won some Cars Tour events. Most of what I've seen from Lane Riggs was just in the past year. He made 3 Xfinity Series starts, managed to finish 11th and 10th with Colleague Racing. And then he also made 3 Truck Series starts, scoring a 3rd place finish for Spire at IRP. And going back to his Xfinity experience, if I remember correctly, he got spun out at Martinsville in the fall race and still came back to finish top 10. It looks like for now, the short, flat ovals are his forte. I guess speaks to his late model background. But hearing what others have said, what others have written, I think Lane Riggs has a ton of potential. Big shoes to fill, for sure. But next year, Lane Riggs effectively will be a NASCAR rookie, so if I were to set expectations, his goal should be to win a couple of races for sure, but more than anything, his goal should be to show improvement throughout the season. make the playoffs, and maybe by the end of the year, you're in round of 8, possibly even championship 4 contention. Just get better week after week, month after month. That's the goal for Lane Riggs next season, but very exciting. Front Row Motorsports continues to be a very interesting race team. What are your expectations for Lane Riggs and Front Row Motorsports? Let me know down in the comment section below. The big headline I couldn't wait to react to in this video today comes from Sheldon Creed. Sheldon Creed confirmed yesterday that he will move over to Joe Gibbs Racing. He'll drive the number 18 in the NASCAR Xfinity Series next year. But while appearing on SiriusXM NASCAR radio this week, Sheldon Creed could not resist but take one final shot at his former team, Richard Childress Racing.
You feel like you're putting in a lot of work, and I feel like I was, I don't know, I don't want to say better than the car, but I just felt like that was what was holding me back a lot of the times.
I think it's safe to say between those comments and what happened at Martinsville a couple months ago, Sheldon Creed and Richard Childress Racing did not split amicably. This was an ugly breakup. I love the confidence. I really do. You need confidence, borderline arrogance, to be a great race car driver. You lose confidence, it affects your on-track performance. But that being said, I'm not a big fan of making excuses. Certainly not making excuses for yourself. I think you can run out of excuses very quickly, no matter how legitimate you may believe your excuse to be, no matter how justified you believe you are. People don't want to hear you make excuses for yourself. At a certain point, they expect you to look in the mirror if performance doesn't improve. Sure, maybe he didn't have the very best equipment at RCR these past 2 years. Maybe they did struggle to figure out the handling, to find consistent speed. But I don't want to hear it. That 2 car won an Xfinity Series championship just 4 years ago. Your teammate Austin Hill had no problem putting up multiple wins each of the past 2 seasons. You had Jeff Stankiewicz as your crew chief. Y'all won a Truck Series championship together just 3 years ago. You should have won a race. I don't want to hear excuses. You should have won a race these past 2 years. Confidence is one thing, and I don't even mind him taking, shots at RCR. The way they acted at the end of this year was extremely childish. They tried to make Sheldon Creed the scapegoat for all their Martinsville problems. Completely unfair. But you can take a shot at RCR without publicly making excuses for yourself. And that's the part I just don't like hearing that, because while the situation may not have been perfect, you drove for a top organization, you had your championship winning crew chief with you, your teammate was winning races, I don't really want to hear it. I hope he does well next season. He's moving on to Joe Gibbs Racing. He said in this interview that he had the choice between JGR and Stewart-Haas Racing. He chose JGR because he feels like they'll give him the best opportunity to win races consistently. And he's exactly right. Joe Gibbs Racing probably is a slight upgrade over the RCR too, but now the pressure is on. He's got to go win races next year, multiple races, or else we're going to look back at these comments, I was being held back by the car. We won't want to hear any more excuses. Confidence is great. You need confidence to be a great athlete in any sport. Honestly, you even need borderline a bit of arrogance, I'd say. You need some ego. But once you start making excuses for yourself, you put a target on your back. And if your next situation doesn't work out either, fans are going to expect you, again, to look in the mirror, to self-reflect. You run out of excuses very quickly, at least in the eyes of most fans and other team owners who may be looking to hire you in the near future. I'm not going to criticize Creed for calling out RCR, though. RCR deserved it, the way they handled Martinsville in October. Good luck to Sheldon Creed this next season. Again, my expectation is 2-3 wins. He should be in the round of 8. Honestly, he probably should be a contender for the championship 4 at season's end. He's a Truck Series champion. He'll be in his 3rd Xfinity Series season with his 2nd great team. Expectations are high. If things don't go well this next season, I don't want to hear any excuses. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. What was your reaction to that statement from Sheldon Creed? What are your expectations for him going into next season? Let me know down in the comment section below. But that is going to do it for this episode, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. While you're down there leaving a comment, also leave a like on this video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. And as always, a huge thank you to my very generous Patreon supporters, helping this show continue to grow each and every month. Have a wonderful rest of your Friday. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next episode. Take it easy, y'all.